Well, I want to welcome Larry Rau to our podcast show this afternoon. And Larry is a long-term friend of mine, and our show is named Entrepreneurs, Business, and Finance. And Larry has been an entrepreneur, and he's been in finance, and he's certainly been in business. So he's a very interesting person to have on the show. Larry, why don't you, good afternoon to you.
Hi, Henry. Good to
uh,
see you.
Yeah, good to see you. Why don't you give us a little introduction on how you became such a successful business financial securities person? Um,
Must have been my farming background
must have been your farming background. There you go.
when I was a kid. Uh, I I guess going back, I was a chemistry major in college, and I'm not sure I used a whole lot of that other than I worked for several pharmaceutical companies for about half my life, and I spent the last half of my life in financial advisory. I was a stockbroker with several different companies, and decided to. I had a couple of reasons to reach out and start looking at some alternative investments, and I guess that led me into a lot of different fields, including things like medical receivables and real estate. And probably the best one is energy and mostly oil and gas. Through my experience with a brokerage firm, I had a client come to me that needed a 1031 property exchange and for a significant amount of money. And I called a friend of mine to see what he might have available because he had a lot of those sort of things. And he said, I just got through interviewing an oil and gas company. And he said, you may want to pursue them because they do, excuse me, called a working interest, and you'd be able to 1031 property exchange into it. So that was kind of the beginning of a great relationship with that company. And I raised uh, about $9 million for that company and have a lot of happy clients because they're still paying 19 years later. And in fact, last year's return was in the 25% category. So
That's just incredible.
yeah, that it really is. Talk about a home run. But anyway, so just through different associations like that, got my appetite pretty wet. I did several different energy companies, not all successful, but uh, the one, first one was the so far the best, and I'm currently enjoying, working part time, I guess. Some of
Well,
the things you've,
we met over 20 years ago when you were in the securities business, and we were like lots of other people that called upon you because you were well known. And more recently, I would call you semi-retired because you're always so active. I know you bought some minerals from one of my companies, and you had some other folks that you brought to the table to buy, including your grandson. And these are mineral properties, which is just another sector of the oil and gas business. And you also were involved consulting, I believe it was, for a solar company. You may still be doing some of that, and you recommended me, and I came in and became a strategic advisor for them for a year and got some stock, and I think that that's going to be a huge, huge success in time. It's on its way. And of course, when Olga and my wife and I come to Naples, Florida, which we like to come, part of the reason we come is to spend time with you and Jan. And now I think you have a lot of friends that come down from. We didn't talk about exactly where you're from, but from North Dakota, and then how you ended up moving to Naples.
not North Dakota though. That's our
South
competitive
Dakota.
state.
South
South
Dakota. What was
Dakota.
I saying?
Yeah, I spent all but the last 10 years in South Dakota, born and raised there. And yeah, we enjoyed your company. Anyway, long story short, I yes, I got involved with a solar company as a founder approximately 10 years ago. And was happy to have you join us several years later. as an advisor. But that a good friend of mine talked me into coming to Naples uh, one winter. I had been going to Phoenix and Palm Springs and Tucson and a few other places, and came down and fell in love with Naples. Found a great church and a lot of great people. And, yeah, there I have a lot of family that comes down every winter to see us. In fact, we got my daughter and her family, extended family. 9 of us are going to be enjoying a little warm weather in February. So,
We know it's a beautiful place, and we've talked about going out boating and fishing together. We haven't done that yet, but I know you like to go boating and fishing, and uh, you've I guess you did some of that, on the lake when you had your lake house.
yeah, I
Um,
did a lot of it there, but not the same type.
right.
Now I ran into a good friend that became a good friend, I should say, a fishing captain that takes us out shark fishing. And of course, along with that, we catch a lot of other species. But recently, I caught a 40-pound grouper, or I mean, cobia, which was phenomenal eating. We've caught 8, 9, 10 foot sharks, sawfish, groupers. So I go out maybe 2, 3 times a year and enjoy that. So one of my pastimes.
Yeah, yeah, and I think you and Jan often go walking on the beach, which of course one of the benefits of living so close to the water
Yep,
there
keeps us
on the
healthy.
Gulf. Yeah, it keeps you healthy as well. Um, well, we look forward to our next visit, and really enjoyed you coming on our show. And I know that you are a wonderful American story of a self-made entrepreneur and uh, built this great family and still keeping busy. As I
Oh
said,
yeah,
officially retired, not licensed, but with FINRA and all that anymore, and in a securities firm, but actively engaged in business and activities.
yes, I do enjoy it. It keeps me out of trouble. It keeps our marriage happy. Which, by the way, just in January it'll be 58 years. So
Isn't that something? Well, that's why there's
put
great
up, she's
grandkids.
put up with a lot.
Well, thank you very much, Larry, and
Thanks,
we'll talk.
Henry.
Larry Rau, thank you very much.
Yep, thank you. Bye bye.